In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to turn the Mona Lisa painting into a digital portrait of someone else, someone modern, someone who's got a photo taken of them. You're going to be able to choose whoever you want, as long as it's funny and it's appropriate and it's not rude or nasty. You're going to be able to choose whoever you want for this lesson, and then eventually the next lesson you're going to take a photo of yourself and do a self-portrait. But today we're just going to learn how to do this task with a photo off the internet of somebody famous. So this one was Ron Burgundy, and you can see before and after. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. First thing you need to do is make sure you save the Mona Lisa image from your email. Save it somewhere in pictures, somewhere you can find it if you've got an art folder. Then go File and Open. I've got mine in Pictures, Digital Self-Portraits, and I scroll down and I've got the Mona Lisa here. Here it is. Control plus to zoom up if you need to, Control minus to zoom out. Now I have my layers already open. If you don't have yours open, you need to go to Window, L for layers, and it should pop up. Now we need to go on the internet and find a photo of somebody famous that you think it will look funny or interesting to put over the top. So on the internet, I have already looked up Ron Burgundy, and I need to choose a picture that's going to suit. And two things I'm looking for. I'm looking for a high quality image. So this one here is high quality, but his head, see it says 2000, that's a high quality image. That's a good, clear, crisp image, but his head is sort of on the side here, whereas Mona Lisa's head is sort of straight up and down, and she's looking to the side. So if she had better lighting, I could see her ear, but I wouldn't be able to see her ear on the other side. And she's not, her head isn't looking up or down, it's sort of just to the side. So we have to try and find something similar to that. So this is no good. This one is good quality and it's got side lighting and it's very similar. He's pulling a funny face, but that's sort of what I want. So I'm going to right click and copy image and go Control V. And it's too big, but it's puffed up. Now something like this, although very funny, wouldn't work very well because his head, see we can see the top of his hair. His head is moved down a lot. This one would work as well. That would be quite funny with his expression. This one wouldn't work either because he's sort of crouched forward and he's got some foreshortening there. You don't want that. So you always kind of look at the ear position. That one could work. This one, he's moved his head's down too low. So you've got to try and match the head position, which is what you'll need to do in the next lesson when you take your own self-portrait. So the first thing I want to do with this is I want to make it smaller. So Control T, make sure that your layer is sort of grey. That means it's selected. Control T and make it smaller. And we want to make it about the same size as her head. So I reckon that's about right. And I press Enter to accept those changes. I'm going to get my rectangular marquee tool and just slice off the excess stuff. I don't need that. To get rid of those selection marks, you go Control D. Now with my arrow point, I just want to check that it's about the same size. He might be a little bit too small, but I'm just going to leave it for now and go Control T. Right click, and I need to flip him horizontally. You might not need to flip your person horizontally. And then I accept those changes as well. Now at the moment, I need to be able to see both faces. So I've moved it over the top, and in opacity, I'm going to make it slightly see-through and Control plus to zoom up. And just sort of check that it's a good size and make it bigger or smaller if you're not sure, but we can still change it later on. We're just doing approximates. So I'm happy with that for the moment. So I'm going to make it back 100% visible. Now this tool here, the polygonal lasso tool, we need to use this one to cut out this side of his face cleanly. Clean cut as close as possible. You can also press plus to zoom up if you need to see it better. and then you want to make your way back to the beginning. So if you click on it directly, or if you double click, so you can click on it at the beginning, or a bit further away you can double click and it selects. And then I just want to go backspace. Backspace, Control minus. Backspace could not, no layer selected. Okay. So I need to make sure, see it's not selected, so I have to select the layer and then press backspace, and it's gone, Control D. Now on the other side of his head, I don't want a crisp cutout, I want a soft eraser. So I get the eraser tool, go up here and make sure that it's not on 100%, make sure it's on 0% and about 175, but it'll be different for everyone. So next to your P on the keyboard, those two brackets make it bigger or smaller. We want to make it not too small, and we want to start to erase around his head. If you make it too small, it's going to erase too hard, and you'll have this really obvious spot where the heads merge. We want it to look as if the head goes from the Mona Lisa to the person really gradually. So it has to be a soft eraser, and we're only just using the very outside edges of the eraser. So nice and soft. I don't want to see Mona Lisa's features. I'm making it very small so I can just take the edge off his face here just a little bit. I don't want to change Ron Burgundy's face, so I don't want to come all up in here. I don't want to do that. I want to keep his natural face on that side and then blend it on this side. So it looks pretty good. The only thing that's the problem is his face is pink and Mona Lisa is quite yellow. So there's a few options there. So Control U, you can change the, so we don't want to go into pink and purple. We want to go into more of a yellowy golden color. We want to up the saturation. Don't worry about lightness and darkness yet. Control B to push even more yellow, orange, and a little bit of green. Everybody's numbers is going to be a little bit different depending on what face you choose. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to look at is brightness and contrast. A little less bright and a little more contrast. Okay, and you can just keep going back and forth through those until you've got it perfect. There you go, I'm pretty happy with that. The last thing that you could do if needed, especially if you've got a picture that has not much light and dark, is down here you've got dodge or burn. So dodge with a paintbrush makes highlights, so it can make cheeks lighter if you needed to get more highlights, which I didn't. Or you've got burn, which increases shadows. So if I want a bit more of a shadow on the right side of his nose or on the edge of his face and his eye area, just to bring those shadows in, that's how you do it. That's what I want you to try. Follow my steps. You can use the same picture as me if you want, or you can choose your own and follow those steps.